called the National Merit Scholarship, and that is related to the PSAT test that you take in your junior year of high school. If you score well on the PSAT and you have high GPA, high SAT scores, you're eligible for a scholarship from National Merit. And also, if schools see that you are a National Merit semi-finalist or finalist, then they may offer you even more merit-based aid. So that's really something to look into, especially as you're preparing for your standardized test junior year.
So that pre-SAT we should write in 9th grade or 10th grade?
10th and 11th grade.
Usually schools will arrange it.
Yeah, schools will arrange it for you, but I highly recommend studying for it. Because a lot of people don't study for it because it's the practice one.
So how many best hours we can put in studying? We want our kids to know about it, because I always see them video games, this, that, and everything. I really want to do them, because we parents ask them to study, they say, oh mom, we get 90%, I'm sure about it, and that. So we really want kids to know how much effort they have to put in studying. They say 90%, they won't all day they get in that. Yeah. So they really know how much hard work they have to do in order to reach their career.
Anything is possible with time management. So if you just manage your time properly, you'll still have time for video games and whatever you want to do in your free time.
You get what you put in, right? So if you want to do really well, put in more time.
I think it just depends on what works best for you, because some people can study for some of my friends can study an hour before the test and score 96s, and some people have to put in 5 hours. So it just depends on what's best for you.
So I have one more question about these colleges. For undergrad 4 years, somebody saying that we paid 60,000 for this college, 40 for this college. We got city college, and we are getting stipend from them. And after the 4 years of they finish 4 years of college, they want to go to the another 4 years for the medical school or something. Is there any criteria for them? Okay, this kid comes from this school and this kid comes from. Is there anything like that?
The way that I can speak about medical school specifically, when you apply to medical school, your schools are every undergraduate school gets ranked based on different criteria, right? And some schools are better for certain things. If you're applying to medical school from an engineering program, that's a different ranking system than applying from a regular 4-year college, stuff like that, right? Definitely, students are looked at differently based on where they went to school. At some schools, maintaining a very high GPA can be easier than at other schools and stuff like that. So, and this is I don't know if there's much statistical analysis on this, but there's also the racial quota that goes into that. So for Indian kids, you can Google this, but there are charts that'll tell you for your race and for the type of school that you go to, this is the cutoff you want to look at to get into the top 20 medical schools in America, to get into the next 30 schools, and so on and so forth. So I mean, GPAs matter regardless, right? You want to maintain a very high GPA no matter where you go to, but obviously there is going to be some leeway for kids who go to super competitive schools versus kids who don't go to as competitive of a school. But at the same time, that GPA is still crucial. If you have a 3.0, that's uncompetitive no matter where you went to school, right? So yeah, it helps to go to a big name, but it also is you have to be competitive even if you go there. You still have to get the grades and all of that.
So I think that's how you cover much of what the general process looks for. Another thing to consider are, well, for one thing, there are these sorts of combined medical programs that you can apply to out of high school, and there are also early selection programs that some schools have in partnership with either their own medical school or with an external medical school. For instance, GW has one where there's a consortium of colleges that can apply for this program. For instance, University of Maryland GW, Scripps College in California, and some others for a seat without having to take the MCAT right after the sophomore year of college. So that's one thing to look at. There's also one with Upstate Medical University in here in New York, and there are a bunch of others, so that's something to consider as well before the general process. It saves you the stress of taking the MCAT, and it's a good way to, I guess, lock in a seat. And I think there's also the FlexMed program with Mount Sinai, which Sahi's in, and yes.
Yeah, so Bargain and I both didn't take the MCAT because I applied to medical school through the FlexMed program, which is at Mount Sinai in New York City. And essentially you apply sophomore year of undergrad. And for those for programs that you're applying that early without taking the MCAT and stuff, definitely being at a competitive school is very helpful. There are 50 kids that got into the FlexMed program with me, and of the 50, about 37 of us are from top tier colleges. So that it definitely does help, but at the same time there's definitely people who are super competitive from all sorts of schools. So it's like a grain of salt, really, yeah.
For sure. Most of the Telugu parents get like good money. I mean, some of